One of the traditional methods of marketing your practice is writing. Writing articles, writing books, writing blogs, yes, even writing tweets. But the point is writing. The question has been asked of me numerous times from my clients, what's the return on investment? What's the ROI? Well, let's look at that a little bit more closely. First of all, let's look at the cost. Cost we understand. Cost is time. The time it takes you to think of an idea, to think of the title, to create an outline, to actually do the writing. That's time. What's the money involved, if any? Well, one of the things that I suggest is that you have somebody edit your material. Now, I'm not saying that blogs should be edited necessarily or tweets should be edited, but clearly longer articles and clearly books should be edited, at least in my opinion. And there is a cost to pay to an editor. So now you've got time and money as the cost. These are factors that we know about. What's the income? What are we offsetting that cost with? Well, in some cases, you can actually receive money. Now, if you're, for example, writing a book and you get published by a major carrier, major publisher, you can get royalties. That, depending on your book, could be significant. It's not enough to earn a living off of, unless you're John Grisham or Scott Turlow or somebody like that. But if you're the normal lawyer practicing law, the royalties are enough for a few good dinners. What else can you do? Well, in articles, some publications who want you on a regular basis will actually pay you equivalent to a freelance writer, and you can get a monthly stipend from them for contributing your articles. Money, though, is not the real issue here, not the real reason for you to write. So if that's the case, what is? It's a great way to market yourself. It's a great way to communicate with the public, the people who would be your prospective clientele. If your expertise is in labor law, you would want to write an article that would appear in management magazines, for example, the American Management Association. Anyway, you get the idea. You want to write articles that will appear in publications that are read by people who are likely to be your customers, your clients. This is what's called marketing. Now, the more you do that, and the broader your base of publication, blogging, articles, books, and the like, the greater will be your awareness by the public, your public. It's called marketing gravity. The more you have out there, the more marketing gravity that you have, and that's important. The next aspect of this ROI is that the more you do, the more you may become thought of as the thought leader. So now, instead of just having somebody want to react to your article and call you or send you an email, anytime they have a problem, they want to connect with you. You are the thought leader in your particular area. For example, I am thought of as a thought leader in practice management. So my name will be raised many times, irrespective of whether the person has an article of mine or a book of mine in front of them. But I've written 11 books about law practice management. I write consistently and appear in syndicated columnists, as a syndicated columnist in several states. And I do presentations all over the country, live as well as teleseminars and the like. I could go on and on because I've been doing this for now 20 years as a coach and consultant to law firms and lawyers around the country, and even in several different countries. The more you do this, the more you are regarded as a thought leader. Now, the more you do this, the more time that passes, there's another aspect that comes on the horizon. something I think none of us think about when we start, but as we do it more, we begin to think of it more, and that is we create a legacy. The legacy of our work then becomes something that our heirs, our families can be proud of, we can be proud of. There's an individual I'm thinking of whose name I won't mention, but he has become not only the thought leader in real estate law in California, but his work is reviewed by others throughout the country. And in fact, he has had a hand in writing a fair amount of the legislation involving real estate transactions in the state of California. That's the kind of personage I'm talking about. The more you become like that person, the more your practice will prosper and profit. And that's when the ROI on writing really takes off. Think about that. Yes, it is time consuming, but it is worth the effort. Thanks for joining us today.